Greetings, BookTube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. I am your host, Peg. It's so nice to have you here today. Today's video is all about fiction. So fiction fans out there, this is for you. I've got a fairly hefty stack of books I've been meaning to show you that are books that I want to read, and I'm trying to make time to read. They're probably going to bleed into 2026, but that's okay. And of course, I've got more fiction that has come in as the channel grows and grows. It's a good problem to have, although I'm running out of space, and my book review work takes up a lot of my reading time. But a lot of those things overlap. My book review work for both history and fiction. I get to cover quite a bit. But these are books that have a wide variety of genres. Fairly wide. We've got literature or contemporary literature. We've got some spy novels. We've got thrillers, historical fiction, of course, which is my bread and butter. But anyway, I thought, hey, let's change it up every now and then. I like to do a mystery moment or mystery minute video, and I also like to do just a fiction roundup and show you what's been coming into the History Shelf. So without further ado, let me just start with some of the books I'm very excited to read that have come out very recently. And this first book is by an author that, wow, I fell in love with when I read her massive book, The Eighth Life. That was like my favorite book of the year when I read it. And it was a few years ago. But she is back with a brand new book, and it is The Lack of Light by Nino Haratashvili. And this is a novel of Georgia. This is put out by Harper Via. This came out, I believe, about a month ago or a couple months ago. But wow, I highly recommend her last book, The Eighth Life. It was amazing. But let me tell you, and this book is so interestingly wrapped. Look at this. The flap. It is gorgeous. It's an interesting flap in that the side, you don't see the pages when you close it. You get this quote. Isn't that interesting from the book? And then the end paper here is a photograph. Look at this. And when she says Georgia, it doesn't mean it means over near Russia. Okay, so not America, Georgia. All right, so let me tell you what this book is about, and I can't wait to read it because she just writes these wonderful epics. Where am I at here? Okay. Whoops. Okay, they are four, as different as can be. The romantic Nina, or Neen, the clever outsider Ira, the idealistic Dina, and the sensitive Keto. Inseparable since childhood, they grow up together in an old Tbilisi courtyard in Georgia during the late 1980s, when the Soviet Union is crumbling and the future of their country is in question. Each in her own way experiences love, hope, and sorrow as they rise to challenges that threaten to swallow up their world. The four women's friendship seems indestructible until an unforgivable act of betrayal shatters their bond. Mentioned in the same breath as Elena Ferrante and Isabella Lend, Nino Haratashvili has captured the hearts of readers everywhere with The Lack of Light, a page-turning epic of loss and redemption. Again, I'm reading this because I loved The Eighth Life, and I love her insights into being a woman. She's amazing. I highly recommend this author. And I'll let you know next year what I thought of The Lack of Light. But The Eighth Life definitely needs to be a must read for you guys. All right, this next book, everyone's been talking about it. I saw a few people in the industry mention this is their favorite book of 2025, and I can't wait to dig in. Even though the name, being a Michigan fan, Michigan Wolverines, this is Buckeye by Patrick Ryan. And I've just heard so many good things about this. And I wanted to get this, and I want to give it a read. Let me give you a little synopsis here. I won't be able to read descriptions for every book I need to show because I don't want this to be, an hour-long video. All right, but for Buckeye, we've got, what do we have here? In Bonhomie, Ohio, a stolen moment of passion, sparked in the exuberant aftermath of the Allied victory in Europe, binds Cal Jenkins, a man wounded not in war, but by his inability to serve in it, to Margaret Salt, a woman trying to obscure her past. Cal's wife, Becky, has a spiritual gift. She is a seer who can conjure the dead, helping families connect with those they've lost. Margaret's husband, Felix, is serving on a Navy cargo ship out of harm's way until a telegram suggests that the unthinkable might have happened. Later, as the country reconstructs in the post-war boom, a secret grows in Bonhomie, but nothing stays buried forever in a small town. Against the backdrop of some of the most transformative decades in modern America, the consequences of that long-ago encounter ripple through the next generation of both families, compelling them to re-examine who they thought they were and what the future might hold. Sweeping yet intimate, rich with piercing observation and the warmth that comes from profound understanding of the human spirit, Buckeye captures the universal longing for love and for goodness. And I should mention the publisher is Random House. As you can see, it came with this sticker, Read with Jenna. I don't go by those things. I wasn't going by Jenna's recommendation. I was going by just what I've seen in different areas of BookTube. Yeah, this is one I cannot wait to read in 2026. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get to it in 2025. Those were the two big ones, the two biggies. Let's see. Also, I wanted to share with you, thank you to the publisher, Grove Atlantic. They have sent me before this author's republished works in these beautiful editions, and there's 3 more that just came out from Len Dayton. And I've got these 3, and I want to get to them. Let's start with this one. SSGB. Let's see here. Like I said, beautiful new versions from Grove Atlantic. Grove Press. Yeah, okay. SSGB. In this visionary novel of alternate history, it is 1941 and Germany has won the war. Britain is occupied, Churchill executed, and the king imprisoned in the Tower of London. At Scotland Yard, Detective Inspector Archer tries to do his job and keep his head down. But when a body is found in a Mayfair flat, what at first appears to be a routine murder investigation sends him into a world of espionage, deceit, and betrayal. So there's that new release from Grove Press. The next Len Dayton story is Spy Story. It's a little slim volume. After 6 weeks in a nuclear submarine gathering computer data on Soviet activity, the mysterious bespectacled spy known as Patrick Armstrong is desperate to return home. But when he arrives at his London flat, it appears to be occupied by someone who looks just like him. And he finds himself propelled into the heart of a conspiracy stretching from the remote Scottish Highlands to the Arctic ice. So, yeah, that sounds like fun. And then the next book I have, and I love these covers. They're so wonderful. XPD. It's 1979, and a group of former SS officers are devising a plan to seize power in West Germany. XPD is a brilliant novel constructed around a supposition that Churchill secretly met with Hitler in 1940 to discuss terms of a British surrender. Heaven forbid. British agent Boyd Stewart is intent on preventing those wartime documents from becoming public. XPD, short for Expedient Demise, the code used by the Secret Intelligence Service to refer to the assassinations it carries out, is another stunning novel from Len Dayton. So, yeah, these are just wonderful editions. So these are another 3 that I want to dig into. Let's go here. Some of these books are coming out too. I have some of these are advanced copies and some of these are finished copies from 2025. I'll try to, let me stick with the ones that are already out. All right, so this one's gonna have to wait. I get so many, guys, sometimes it's hard for me to have these ready to go when I show up. Oh, this is coming in December, but it's December now, so we'll do this. All right. All right. So let me show you some of these. These are a couple of these are from independent authors. And normally I do indie author spotlight videos, but I'm going to include it in this just because it is on my list of books that I want to get to in 2026. And I was for this book, I was contacted by the publicist for the author, and they sent me this beautiful copy. It's a big book, but I'm looking forward to it. This is, you can see this, Echoes of the Past, a novel by Maya Mitra Das. This is the publisher is Authors Tranquility Press, so it might be self-published. I'm not sure, but it's a big book. So what is it about, you ask? I'll tell you. This is, okay, so we've got two timelines here. 15th century Florence. Niccolo is a renowned Italian sculptor whose thought-provoking philosophy reverberates throughout his life and work and through his sculpting, his true passion being the creator who can make every sculpture unique, and with his magic touch, everything comes alive. As Niccolo navigates his way through life and sculpting, he continues to live by the process of the creative stream, a transmission of feelings that transcends the artist's experience, enabling seekers to find themselves and lose themselves at the same time. To Niccolo, art consumes the whole person with the fire of the soul. Then we go to 20th century Newcastle upon Tyne, England. Leaving India and everything familiar to him behind to start a new life in England, Rudy, a renowned neurosurgeon, reflects back on his life through his reading of the biography of the Italian sculptor Niccolo. As he discovers that, despite centuries separating them, they are connected through their passion and dedication for their work, art, family, and love. As Rudy's life progresses, he sees how the events that shaped him are similar to Niccolo's, as this particular sculptor continues to inspire Rudy deeply. The renowned 15th century sculptor had a vision that is universal even to this present era. Niccolo's philosophy that creativity is like an endless stream that flows to all areas of work rings true for Rudy's life as a doctor who realizes that despite all of life's triumphs and challenges, the creator could be anyone willing to make any entity unique and alive with his magic touch. So isn't that interesting? That just really grabbed me. And so I want to dig into this. Like I said, I'll be doing a lot of digging in 2026. But yeah, I'll report back once I get to this book, but I cannot wait. Check it out. You can find it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, I'm sure. Echoes of the Past by Maya Mitra Das. Another really interesting one. I think this book came out in September. Let's see here. And that is, I wish, therefore I am. Or, and as the subtitle says, or this here is a list of humble appeals to Dame Fortune by Gary Lippman. Okay. I wish, therefore I am is a mosaic of a singular American lifetime's worth of desires, and how those desires collide with a cast of recurring characters. A band of evil ninjas, a mysterious black-clad vagabond, and the ancient goddess of destiny herself, Dame Fortune. And I should say the publisher is Rare Bird Publishing. The wishes in this book range from the fantastical to the deeply personal, invoking winged dinosaurs, whirling dervishes, the Rolling Stones, African proverbs, Amelia Earhart, that's for me, Civil War era missiles, tarot cards, pirates, psychoanalysts, and a pair of eternally rolling dice. And that's just in the first 6 pages. Comic, tragic, erotic, whimsical, and profound. I wish, therefore I am is a tonic for these times. So this sounds like some experimental writing. Maybe let's get into it. I'm ready to try some new and wild things in the fiction realm. And this one checks that box right off. I wish, therefore I am. Not quite sure what to expect from it. but it is on my TBR. Now this book I'll be reading very soon because it's a short story, really, and but I love supporting independent authors. This is another independent author that I'm featuring in this video, and then I'll come back and maybe talk about this story after I've read it. It's a very slim little volume, but it's called The Boy by Reno Bachman. Reno sent me this. Thank you, Reno. I really appreciate that. As you can see, very tiny, very tiny. And let's see what this story is about. Okay. When the riders came, the night burned. 30 men armed with torches and whiskey stormed the farm. One man stood his ground. Calm hands, steady aim, but no man can stop a flood. From that fire and gun smoke rose a boy, left with nothing but the echo of violence and a name whispered in fear. The Boy is a short, poetic, gritty Western tale of blood, loss, and survival in a world where mercy is rare and death rides fast. So I think Reno, his métier, what he writes in is a lot of stuff about the Old West, and I love that. This description says, Reno Bachman writes dark, cinematic tales that explore blood, loss, and survival on the lawless frontier. Inspired by the grit of the Old West, his stories blend violence and humanity in equal measure. And The Boy is his latest story. So fantastic. I'm going to eat this up here on a lunch break, and I'll get back to you guys on this one. I'm just going to plug this because I am the editor. I'm happy to say I am the editor working with this author. He has written 2 books in his Tom Dickerson World War I series, Patrick Kirk, but he also does what he calls one-shot novellas. And this was his latest one that he just got a print copy here, Undaunted Courage by Patrick Kirk. This is a fantastic little story that takes one of his characters before World War I and explores a little-known battle in the Philippines in 1906. Let me just read this to you real quick. And I edited this, so I worked with him on this one. I'm really, really proud of it, and I'm proud of the story. We worked together, and I think really put out something great here. In the sweltering dawn of 1906, the Philippines descend into chaos as a ruthless Moro warlord unleashes a reign of terror, cutting down Americans and their allies with unrelenting savagery. On the volatile island of Jolo, young infantryman William Wall is hurled into the crucible of rebellion. Amid treacherous jungle ambushes and brutal hand-to-hand clashes, Wall faces the unyielding ferocity of the Moro warriors. With his life hanging by a thread, he must unearth a reservoir of uncommon courage to survive the relentless onslaught and emerge from the heart of the savage conflict. So, Uncommon Courage. I thought it was Undaunted. Sorry. Uncommon Courage by Patrick Kirk. All right. These were like 2 small little novellas. You're going to see more and more of these on Amazon as people are, publishing. And I think it's great. I think it's great that people are, writing and getting their voices out there. Let's see. Another book by an independent, well, I think it's an independent author. A publicist reached out to me about this. And again, hello. Hello. Okay, sorry about that. Focus completely died on me there. This is another little Western story. This is put out by Hill Country Press. The publicist reached out to me, and I said, yeah, I'd love to read this. This is called Llano Estacado by Max L. Knight. Let's see here. Jacob Harker, a homesteader consumed by grief after Comanches murder his family, embarks on a relentless quest for retribution across the unforgiving prairie, risking his life, his soul, and his very humanity. White Knife, an enigmatic Comanche leader, is haunted by his own tragedy, the murder of his wife and unborn child at the hands of white soldiers, and torn between tradition and the encroaching tide of change. As Jacob and White Knife's paths converge, both men must confront the cost of vengeance and the possibility of redemption. Rich in historical detail and unflinching in its depiction of violence and loss, Llano Estacado is a story of hope, compassion, healing, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Max L. Knight weaves a vivid meditation on justice, forgiveness, and the meaning of home in a land where every horizon promises danger and possibility. Fantastic. Looks like Max has written four other books. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to have to look into those, but this looks like a good read. I'm going to probably zoom through this one. Yes. So that's another one I want to kind of dive into and also get back to you guys on maybe in another indie author spotlight as I kind of go through some of these more like small press titles, and give them some attention. All right. Oh, here's another one. Is this the first time? I'm not sure. But anyway, this is from Stony Creek Publishing. And it's on my list. It came out in October, so I'm a little bit behind. Things have been super busy. Let's see here. This is A Family of Good Women. And this is by Teddy Jones. Trying to not get the glare. There we go. All right, so what's happening here? Imogene Good finds herself wrestling with this question. Sorry, let me start from the beginning. What is the true meaning of family? So let me try to get some of that shiningness off my face. Imogene Good finds herself wrestling with this question when, still grieving her mother's death, she abandons a promising teaching career to open a boarding house in the near-lawless oil boomtown of Borger, Texas, alone. The business thrives, love arrives in the form of a mysterious Texas Ranger, and Imogene takes in a stray dog and a runaway cousin from the Good Family farm in East Texas. But months later, as fatigue, mounting threats, and violence against her business threaten to overwhelm her, she finds refuge in the contents of a trunk she carted to town after her mother's death. In it, Imogene finds secrets about the women who raised her that change her life and her understanding of family. Can the good women build a new life from the ashes of hardship on the inhospitable plains of the 1920s Texas Panhandle? Inspired by historical events, A Family of Good Women is a compelling tale of inner strength, the bonds of family, and the power of the human spirit. And I love the artwork on the cover here. It really does evoke that 1920s Texas feel with the oil wells, the derricks there, and also just the automobiles. It's like Model Ts and stuff, you know. It's kind of cool. I love it. So Stony Creek Publishing. Like I said, I've got a lot of fiction that I want to knock out. So this is one of them. And I think I'm going to include these in a, maybe I'll follow up next. I'll follow up next year with some feedback once I've read some of these indie titles. Oop, can't forget this one. I have a few more from my last indie author spotlight. So I'm trying to read these in chunks so that I can get back to you on some of these. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, let me go back to a very big novel by an author that I went and bought his back catalog. I bought like used books of his, but this is his new one. And so I was able to get a new copy thanks to the publisher, which is, what's the name of this publisher? Greenleaf Books, Greenleaf Book Group Press. This is David Adams Cleveland, who wrote, I have an arc of the book that came out many years ago about Alger Hiss, I believe. But this is his new book, Reunions. And it's a very beautiful, it's a wide format book. So it's not narrow. Doesn't it look great? So let me tell you what it's about. Let me see here. What time are we at? Okay, Four Friends, a joyous reunion, a mysterious meeting that will rewrite their story. Jeannie, Annette, Bianca, and Apollonia, members of a championship tennis team, come together for a festive weekend of shared memories during their 40-year reunion at Princeton University. Yet the reunion takes a bizarre turn when the four friends meet young Jacob, the son of their brilliant former classmate, Jake Burridge, now the reclusive CEO of Burridge Pharmaceuticals. Jacob seems to know more about the four women than any son should or could possibly know, such as how Jeannie, the first female CEO of a major publishing house, had a tempestuous romance with Jake Burridge as an undergraduate. How Annette, married to a struggling tennis player, recruited Jake to track her husband's matches. How Bianca, a once celebrated concert pianist, had a brief affair with Jake in Venice. And how Apollonia, a doctor to the celebrity rich, was tutored in college by Jake, while fending off his curiosity about a scandalous affair that threatened the university they loved. When Jacob disconcertingly calls into question pivotal moments that have shaped each woman's life, they must consider the specter of a mind-boggling possibility born on the cutting edge of biotech's wild frontier. That is like very mysterious sounding. It's beautiful end papers, though. Look at that. Yeah. What was this other book I was trying to tell you about? Oh yeah, Gods of Deception. That was the one about Alger Hiss, I believe. It was a 2022 Indies Book of the Year finalist. So I went and bought some of his, like I said, his older books. I got Time's Betrayal and Love's Attraction, and I bought those used, and those are coming up soon in another used book haul. So, but this is his most recent, and I'm really looking forward to tapping in. All right. All right, so this is the author I was telling you about in one of my, I'm always assuming that I've got my return viewers here. So if you're new here, I'm sorry if I refer to things and you don't know what I'm talking about. I bought a few of their 4 volumes in this historical fiction murder mystery series set in Gilded Age mystery in New York. And the author is Kate Belly. Well, she just released a contemporary novel, completely separate from her mystery series. So I was excited to take a look at this. And this is The Gallery Assistant by Kate Belly. Yeah, the Gilded Gotham historical mystery series. I don't know if she's writing more in that series or not. Right now, I've got the 4 books. Let's see what we have here. This is about a shocking death rocks the elite New York City art world, unearthing old secrets for a young gallery assistant who finds herself at the center of a dangerous web of deceit. Okay. November 2001, Chloe Harlow wakes up late with hazy memories of last night's party, but no recollection of how she got back to her Brooklyn apartment. Ever since the terrifying and catastrophic terrorist attack, it seems she has been on a collision course with destruction. When she arrives at the exclusive Upper East Side art gallery where she works, a pair of NYPD detectives greet her, also very curious to know how her evening ended, because the host of the party, a rising painter and the gallery's newest artist, is dead. Navigating both a sophisticated high-stakes art world and her personal life in burgeoning Williamsburg, Chloe struggles to piece together a complete picture of that lost night. As she digs deeper, inconsistencies emerge between what she remembers and what people tell her actually happened, and more questions are raised. Everything begins to feel like a conspiracy, and maybe it is, because Chloe is the only one who glimpses the secrets the murdered artist left behind, and the closer she gets to the truth, the more deadly it becomes. So this just sounds like a great thriller, kind of murder mystery thriller set in 2001. So I'm going to be reading this in conjunction with her Gilded Gotham historical mystery series. I should say that the publisher of this is Emily Bessler Books, Atria Books. So yeah, kind of excited for that one as well. What else we got here? Am I getting into books that are, yes, these are already out. This book came out in November. That sounds really interesting. It's from Graydon House Books. Let me see where I'm at with the time. We're at 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. You've got The Library of Fates, a novel by Margot Harrison. Let's see. The Library of Fates was designed to show you who you are and who you could become. Its rarest book, The Book of Dark Nights, holds a secret. When you write an intimate confession on its pages, you'll receive a prediction for your future, penned in your own handwriting. For Eleanor, whose childhood was defined by a senseless tragedy, the library offers a world where everything makes sense. She spent most of her life there as an apprentice to the brilliant librarian, showing other people how to find the meaning of their lives and stories. But when her mentor dies in a freak accident and the Book of Dark Nights is discovered missing, along with the secrets written inside, Eleanor is pulled out of the library and into a quest to locate it with the last person she expects, the librarian's estranged son, Daniel, whom Eleanor once loved. Together, as they hunt down clues from Harvard to Paris, Eleanor and Daniel grow closer again, regaining each other's trust. But little do they know that they're entangled in a much larger web. Someone else wants the book, and they'll go to dark lengths to get it. So that sounds like fun. That's just kind of up my alley, and it's libraries and librarians and books and missing books. Who doesn't love that? So this is out right now, if anyone is interested in this title, but this is on my TBR. Faux show. All right, what else? Okay, so this is we're going to get into some thriller stuff. I think, is this the new book? This is a new series that starts up. This book published on December 1st. This is from Thomas and Mercer Press, and this is The Second Son by Simon Gervais and Ryan Steck. I think I've shown you this before, actually. What would happen if two top thriller writers joined forces, combining their creative chops, real-world experience, and industrial savvy? Let's see. This is a series launch featuring Chase Burke, a former soldier turned Manhattan sommelier. Offers action-packed plotting and a hero that readers will feel passionate about. He's flawed, brave, and driven by love and loyalty to his family and friends. Let's see here. Soldier turned sommelier, Chase Burke may have traded his rifle for bottles of wine, but violence and conspiracy aren't through with him yet. First, his intelligence analyst brother is killed in a covert op gone wrong and branded a traitor. Then, a brutal ambush at the restaurant where Chase works leaves the woman he is romantically involved with, a congresswoman, clinging to life. Scrambling to clear the family name and protect his secret love, Chase teams up with NYPD detective Alice Doyle, a single mother fighting battles all her own. Together, they uncover a powerful criminal syndicate whose unscrupulous influence sweeps the globe and strikes painfully close to home. As elite mercenaries close in, Chase is dragged back into the dangerous world he thought he'd escaped. Facing a mother losing her memory and a past that never forgets, he fights to win a zero-sum game where trust can be lethal. But when all seems lost, an unlikely ally could help turn the tide. And I love series, and I love thriller series, I love mystery series, and this is the first in a series, and I always like to get on board at the jump with a new series. So The Second Son is out right now. First in the series, and hey, it's on my TBR. Looking forward to seeing what will come next. It sounds like a great plot, and can't wait to see what that holds for me. What else we've got? I'm running out of time here. Oh, I'm very excited for this book. But it's not out until March, so let me hang on to that until the end. And that's not coming out until February. All right, let's talk about two books that I've seen a lot. Two fiction novels I've seen people talk about a lot. It's been on like bestseller lists, and people have talked about them on their channel. And this is an author I've never read. And this is Rachel Kushner. This is Creation Lake. The Booker Prize winner in 2024. Oh, no, wait. Shortlisted. The Booker Prize shortlisted 2024. Don't know what to expect from this, but I'm intrigued. And, I'm trying to branch out more into, more contemporary literature. And I just kind of want to know where fiction is going these days when it comes to like contemporary fiction. Um, you know, I want to see the quality of our authors in this generation, and I need to start reading more fiction, and that's what I'm trying to do with these videos. So, Creation Lake is a novel about a secret agent, a 34-year-old American woman of ruthless tactics and clean beauty who is sent to do dirty work in France. Sadie Smith is how the narrator introduces herself to the rural commune of French subversives on whom she is keeping tabs, and to her lover Lucien, a young and well-born Parisian she has met by cold bump. I don't know what cold bump is. Making him believe the encounter was accidental. Oh, okay. See, I'm not with the lingo of these kids today writing these books. I don't know, a cold bump. Like everyone she targets, Lucien is useful to her and used by her. Sadie operates by strategy and dissimulation, based on what her contacts, shadowy figures in business and government, instruct. First, these contacts want her to incite provocation. Then they want more. Okay. In this region of old farms and prehistoric caves, Sadie becomes entranced by a mysterious figure named Bruno Lacombe, a mentor to the young activists who believes that the path to emancipation is not revolt, but a return to the ancient past. Just as Sadie is certain she's the seductress and puppet master of those she surveils, Bruno is seducing her with his ingenious counter-histories, his artful laments, his own tragic story. Creation Lake is Kushner's finest achievement yet, a work of high art, high comedy, and unforgettable pleasure. Yeah, and as you can see, it's just been ballyhooed everywhere. Named a best book of the year by all of these outlets. So what am I missing? This is why I'm accepting these copies from publishers. These are books that, publishers have reached out to me, told me about them, and then I'm like, I don't accept all of them. Some of them grab my interest, and I'm like, sure, I'll take a look. So this is one of them. And let's hope that 2026 will be the year that I can get to Creation Lake. Another book that I want to get to that's currently out, it came out earlier, well, maybe in the last few months, is The Extinction of Irina Ray. And, did I tell you what the publisher? Scribner. Sorry, Creation Lake is Scribner. Yeah, the Extinction of Irina Ray is from Bloomsbury title. 8 translators gather in the primeval forest home of the world-renowned Irina Ray. They are there to translate her magnum opus together, but within days of their arrival, Irina disappears. The translators embark on a frantic search, delving into ancient woods filled with strange flora, fauna, and fungi, and examining her enigmatic texts and belongings for clues, but doing so reveals secrets they are utterly unprepared for, and they quickly find themselves tangled up in a web of rivalries and desires that threaten not only their work, but the fate of their beloved author herself. And this is by Jennifer Croft. And I know that Bloomsbury they were really pushing this out earlier in the year. And yeah, it sounds really great. It looks like Jennifer Croft, she is she's a translator. So International Booker Prize winning translator and Women's Prize finalist Jennifer Croft's madly brilliant mystery novel, and this is why it appealed to me, because I love my mysteries, of transformation and translation in Europe's last great wilderness. So I gotta read this one too. Right up my alley. All right, just in time for Christmas. This book is a little slim volume. You could read in one sitting, but it came out in October, which is so weird, but I wanted to show you as we got closer to December. A little tiny volume called Christmas at the Women's Hotel. By Daniel M. Lavery. This is put out by Harper Via. As you can see, look at this, just so slim. It's just a little tiny story, little short story. Oh, okay. This is because he's the author of Women's Hotel. Oh, I see. So there's another story before this about the Women's Hotel. It says here, And I'm running out of time, I think. So let me get back to about 40 minutes. Daniel M. Lavery returns to the world of Women's Hotel in this delightful and heartwarming novella about one especially lively Christmas time at the Biedermeier. Christmas at the Biedermeier Hotel means work. For much of the year, employment comes infrequently to Biedermeier residents, but during the Advent season, they're in high demand all over the city as holiday window dressers, salesgirls at the card stores on 42nd Street, Broadway usherettes, assistants to the Lincoln Center laundress at the Nutcracker, or off-season security guards working for Pinkerton at the World's Fair. Okay. Catherine explores the possibility of reconnecting with a younger sister moving to New York. Lucienne goes into business for herself, running a strictly social register telephone order mail escort agency out of her room. Say that 5 times fast. While Mrs. Mossler attempts to solve the mystery of the Biedermeier skyrocketing phone bill and frets over Christmas tips for the hotel's few remaining employees. And while the 3 gem thieves who broke into the American Museum of Natural History have recently been apprehended, not all of the stolen jewels have been recovered. And Patricia and Carol have been behaving very strangely recently. Christmas is a season of wonder and mystery after all. Okay. I might have to read the first one to kind of get what's going on here, but I'll read it just by itself anyway and just get a feel for the writing. And it's a nice Christmas read. So I wanted to share that with you. If you're a fan of the Women's Hotel stories by Daniel Lavery. I've been seeing, there seems to be a lot of books lately with these types of covers, and also obviously they're written, it's like a genre or a niche area. It's like these little Japanese bookstore stories. I don't know what's going on. But I wanted to check it out. This is Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada, translated by Philip Gabriel. I just love the artwork too. Let's see here. All Otoha Higuchi wants to do is work with books. Same here, Otoha. That's all I want to do. However, the exhausting nature of her work at a chain bookstore has quickly brought reality crashing down around her. She is already on the verge of quitting when she receives an anonymous invitation to apply for a job at the night library. The hours are from 7 o'clock to midnight. The library exclusively stores books by deceased authors, and none of them can be checked out. Instead, they're put on public display to be revered and celebrated by the library's visitors, making it akin to a book museum. There, Otoha feels she has finally found her place in the world. She meets the other staff, a group of like-minded literary misfits, including a legendary chef who prepares incredible dinners for the employees at the end of each day. Night after night, she bonds with her colleagues over meals in the cafe, each of which are inspired by the literature on the shelves. But as strange occurrences start happening around the library that may bring the threat of its closure, Otoha and her friends fear that the peace they have found there will forever be lost to them. Will their faith in the value of books be strong enough to save it? And what will remain if it isn't? So it's a cute little book, you know. And who doesn't love reading books about books and libraries? Again, it's going back to that theme. So, and the publisher is Hanover Square Press. And they sent me this copy, and I'm very grateful for it. And again, these things align with my interests. So I wanted to share this with you guys and let you know that it is on my TBR. Oh gosh, and this one's we're getting into things that are coming out now. Well, this one came out in October, and did I miss this for Halloween coverage? I must have, but this is called Quantum Nightmares. Short stories. These is a compilation of short stories by Jose M. Rodriguez Jr. This is put out by Flare Books. It's a publisher called Flare Books. This is a collection of dystopian sci-fi stories. I thought it was more, is it horror and sci-fi? It's a collection of dystopian sci-fi stories, contains the nuggets of bizarre psychological truth that help explain today's divisive United States, where myth collides with belief and fact is hard to find. Let's see. Betty Gray, the infamous first woman to report an alien abduction, offers her eggs to save a future infertile human race. In doing so, she connects her consciousness to the entire stream of human history, past, present, and future. Her dreams frame each of the 15 tales in the collection, forming the spine of Quantum Nightmares. From genderless societies to digital tribalism, each story explores the strange mechanics of power, identity, and survival in a world veering away from nature. This debut collection channels the speculative precision of Clifford Seamack, Philip K. Dick, and Ted Chiang, while dragging their serenity into darker, more chaotic realms. That sounds fun. Okay, and Jose Rodriguez Jr. is a debut author of Puerto Rican descent, a veteran of the United States military. Thank you for your service. And a father, and he lives in Ohio, in Iowa. So, I'm intrigued. Ooh, look at this setup. This is like a transcript. A little bit of everything going on in here. So, and, I'm not a big sci-fi reader, but I think the fact that there's a lot of like kind of weird, like psychological stuff going on here, appeals to me. So I want to check it out. Even if I just read a few of these stories, I want to see what it's about. So Quantum by Jose Rodriguez Jr. Let's see. Let's go back to historical fiction real quick. This book came out yesterday from Harper Perennial. Now, this is straight up historical fiction. This is a book called Daughter of Genoa by Kate Devereaux. I've got an advanced copy here. Anna's family fled to America years ago, escaping Mussolini's black shirts when they began rounding up Italian Jews, but Anna had stayed behind. Alone and terrified of discovery, Anna meets Father Vittorio, a Jesuit priest who takes her to shopkeepers Bernardo and Sylvia, an older couple who offer shelter and safety without question. But when Anna discovers that this kind, quiet couple is part of a network of ordinary people daring to help Father Vittorio smuggle Jewish citizens stripped of their status and rights out of Italy, she is determined to help. Anna offers skills essential to the cause. She has a deft hand at ledgers and forgery, talents she learned at the high-powered job she held before the racial laws were passed, a past she conceals. Working in secrecy, not knowing others' real names or sharing her own, Anna begins producing fake identity cards and soon meets another member of the operation, a man known as Mr. X, whom she recognizes instantly as the wealthy aviator, Massimo Teglio. And suddenly, without warning, despite the threat of imprisonment, torture, and death, Anna finds herself taking the most dangerous risk of all, falling in love. And she's not the only one. Based on the true story of the DELASEM, that's a big acronym, DELASEM, which is known as the Delegation for the Assistance of Jewish Immigrants, an organization of brave volunteers working tirelessly to save innocent lives from the concentration camps. Daughter of Genoa is a poignant look at those who loved and lost, yet continued to risk everything to create a better world. Fabulous. Oh, my book's coming apart. Well, I might have to put some glue in here. Yeah. Just kind of, I'll be careful with it. I'll try to put some tape in there just to, it's just, like I said, it's an advanced review copy. So, but it sounds really good though, doesn't it? I love me some good historical fiction. And this is out right now. So what do we got? Okay, now we're rolling up. This book I think is out right now. This is another book by J.A. Jance. I got one of her, I've never read any of her stuff except for last year when they sent me Blessings of the Lost Girls or something like that. And I think this is another in the series of, this came out right around like October, early October. County Sheriff Joanna Brady stories. This is the latest in the series. And this is called The Girl from Devil's Lake. I really like that cover too. I like the composite. Sheriff Joanna Brady is looking forward to the holidays with her busy family and to celebrating her daughter Jenny's graduation from the police academy. But the family is interrupted when a body is discovered beneath a flooded bridge in the Arizona desert, and Joanna is called on to the case. A young boy was murdered, and the details of the crime scene tell Joanna two things. This was not the killer's first murder, and it's only a matter of time before he kills again. As Joanna digs deeper into the case, she begins to understand this murder is just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. She uncovers unlikely connections between cases of mysterious deaths and missing persons, long since gone cold, that extend far beyond the confines of her small town and include the discovery of a body near Devil's Lake, North Dakota. To get justice for the victims and to save the town of Bisbee from a predator, Joanna must chase down every dangerous lead. Meanwhile, as a dogged journalist is circling the case and privileged information is leaked, Joanna can't be sure whom to trust. Could a prolific killer be hiding in plain sight? And how far will that person go to keep his many crimes hidden? So, I love, like I said, mysteries, series, some detective stories and procedurals. But J.A. Jance, The Girl from Devil's Lake, a Brady novel of suspense. That is on my list to read in 2026. 2 more books real quick. Okay, so this book is coming out in February. This is more of a thriller, suspense thriller. And I've never read Mary Kubica, but I want to. It looks like she's a kind of a bestseller here. This is coming in February from, did I tell you J.A. Jance is a William Morrow book? All right. The publisher of this is Park Row Books, and this is Mary Kubica's It's Not Her. So I was able to get an advanced review copy. Can't go into too much detail. It says here two families vacationing at a secluded lake resort are at the center of a chilling crime and mysterious disappearance in this twisty, unputdownable thriller. And I love those. Where am I at on time? Where's 50 minutes, guys? I can never seem to I just can never seem to do it. Anyway, says a stunning discovery, a shocking investigation, a truth no one could have imagined. So I'll leave it there for that. I'll get back to you on Mary Kubica because I think I might have another one of hers that I want to also tap into as well. So, yep, my eyes are bigger than my, not my stomach in this case, but it's bigger than my ability to read every book that has ever been printed. All right. So this book I'm very excited for, and I want to write a review for it. I want to pitch it. I'm going to pitch it to one of my editors to see if he'd like me to write a review for this. Only because I read her last book, which was about a Margaret Fuller, and I utterly loved it. Finding Margaret Fuller was Alison Pataki's last book, and it was one of my favorite reads of 2025. This book is coming out in March, and this is called The It Girl, or just It Girl. This is by Ballantine Books, published by Ballantine Books. It comes out March 10th. So I'm going to investigate this a little bit, see if this fits my editor's his specs for historical fiction. But I'm pretty sure it does. So let me tell you what this is about. And this is our final book, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this long. In the dazzling new historical novel, It Girl, multiple New York Times bestselling author Alison Pataki once again proves that history is juicier than fiction. Very true. With more than 500,000 copies of her novels in print. Okay. Yeah, Pataki has previously brought to life the sweeping stories of iconic women from American heiress Marjorie Post to intellectual trailblazer Margaret Fuller. That's the book I was telling you about. And now she shifts the spotlight onto America's very first It Girl. Inspired by the life of Evelyn Nesbit, the first self-made modern female celebrity of American pop culture, Pataki tells the sensational story of Evelyn Talbot and her dramatic rise to stardom at the dawn of the 20th century. While working as a shop girl to support her family, Evelyn gets her first big break as a studio model, catching the eye of preeminent artists of the age. And when Broadway comes calling, she becomes the most sought-after face of her time, the iconic Gibson girl. Enter a parade of powerful and power-hungry men, from world-famous architect Stanley Pierce to the shockingly wealthy railroad heir Hal Thorne. But fame and fortune are cruel teachers, and Evelyn learns that the only person she can rely on is herself. When Evelyn finds herself at the center of a murder of passion declared the crime of the century, she is blamed for the acts of the men in her life. Of course, woman's always it's always the woman's fault. In the media frenzy that spirals around her, Evelyn realizes that to survive, she will have to write her own ending. But can this artist's muse turned showgirl pull off the greatest act of her life? All right. Sounds great. Sounds great. And this is coming out in March. So I have some time yet on this one, but I could be writing a review for this. So there you have it. So there is a full, I can't even, there's too many books to do there's too many books to do a pyramid, guys. Woo, let's go back to that bright light. I've got to figure out the lighting in my room. I apologize. I'm using a new studio software, but it washes me with lights, and I've got to figure this out. Got to figure this out, guys. It's nighttime out, as you can see. I got to get rolling. I got to feed the pups. Got to feed the humans. And I got a lot of reading on tap. December is packed. But thank you for joining me for this new fiction drop and just going over some of the books that I'll be reading and that maybe you might want to add to your TBR in 2026 as well. So let me see. What can I do here before I let you go? Let me just say, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for joining me here at the History Shelf. I appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you back here real soon. I'm going to have another video coming out in the next 2 days. Count on it. For a variety of new history that has arrived. There's not a lot of new releases in December. I find that publishers are tending to not, release major titles in December. So I don't have a big stack for new month, new history for December. But what I have in lieu of that is an eclectic hodgepodge, grab bag, if you will, of a variety of different titles. And it's a stack. And I'm telling you, it's almost hitting my desk. The stack is so high. So that one is coming next because I want to clear all that up for December. And then we're going to be moving into January releases. We've got lots of history coming in January, February, March. They're already sending me stuff. And I'm trying to get my, which books I'll be reviewing, which books I'll be showing on the channel and trying to select for reading and all this kind of good stuff. Got lots of new ideas for next year. And I'll share more news on that in a separate video. This one has been long enough. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Love you. Mean it. Have a great night. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.